welcome to another episode of Garden to Table with Rose, and I am Rose. So today's video is a little different. I'm not doing a gardening video. As you can see, I'm in the kitchen, in my kitchen, and I am going to do a video about this new drink machine that I got. It's basically a big blender, and you use it to make frozen drinks. You know, daiquiris, pina coladas, margaritas, if you like them frozen, that kind of thing. So this is called the Margaritaville Frozen Concoction Maker. It came with a carrying case, and here's the carrying case. So you can go mobile with your concoction maker, take it to parties, do whatever you want with it. So it came with that, and basically just a little instruction manual here that has some basic drink recipes in it. It tells you how to put it together, take it apart, clean it, all that good stuff. So basically, like I said, it's a big old blender. So the only thing you really need to do after you get it kind of semi-assembled, this part comes off. I'm not going to take it off because it'll be a pain to get back on. But this big bin you fill with ice. On the front, and I can't zoom in because I'm a one-man show. But on the front there are knobs, basically, and they're different settings. Let's see, there's a daiquiri setting, Ritas for margaritas, coladas, and smoothies. And then this button here is if you are making a half of a carafe or a whole carafe. You know, so I'm gonna make half the container for this video because there's no one to drink all this stuff but me. So, and then there's a little lever here that's for shaved ice and blending. So that's if, you know, if you leave it sitting here, because this has a dispenser, so you can dispense it directly into your cup, which is cool. But if you leave it sitting there a little bit and it starts to melt, you might want to shave some more ice, add ice to it. Or if you go through their blending cycle and it's not as frozen as you would like, or maybe it's too sweet, you can add more ice, shave ice into it, and then blend it up again. There's also a button, just the power button. Once you get your settings and get everything put together, you just push that power button and it does all the work, and then it stops when it's done and you have your drinks. Now, there's a safety feature. This button is flashing red right now, and it will turn green when you have it assembled correctly. So if it's not assembled correctly and everything locked into place, it will not let you start the machine. So that's a kind of a safety factor, I assume. So we're gonna keep this pretty simple. First, let's fill it with ice. And obviously you don't have to fill it all the way up with ice. It depends on how much you're making. I'm making 2 different drinks here. I don't know why I need to do 2, I could just do 1. But I decided to do 2. So I'm trying to do this kind of sideways. It's hard to see this direction. Alright, so I decided to do this ultimate orange dream, which is I got this because a friend of mine recommended it to me. It's very sweet. I don't really care for it. It kind of tastes like a creamsicle. This has alcohol in it already, 12.5%, so that's like a glass of wine. I tried this just chilled over, I think I put it over ice, and oh, it was sickeningly sweet to me. I don't like really sweet drinks. So I figured this probably would taste better as a frozen drink. Because that way I could dilute the sweetness, plus add some more vodka. Vodka is the base for this. So I'm gonna add some more alcohol because it doesn't have much of an alcohol content. And I got some Amsterdam vodka that I just had on my bar and I grabbed it. This one is a strawberry mix for either daiquiris or margaritas. I mean, if it's a daiquiri, you're gonna use rum, and if it's a margarita, obviously you're gonna use tequila, so that's the only difference. So this one does not have alcohol in it. You have to add your own alcohol. It's super sweet as well. You know, it's basically the base. So now you could also make your drinks from scratch. The recipe book, I think, has the basic recipes for the pina colada, the margarita, the daiquiri, making them from scratch. If you want to buy the coconut cream and pineapple juice and all that stuff, I don't want to do that at this point in time, and so I'm using the mixes, and that'll make the video go quicker too. And then I'm going to use some Bacardi rum, I think, for this, just because that's what I had. Bacardi Gold, that's what I had on my bar that was already open. So that's what we're going to do. All right, so once you get this contraption together, the container, it has some measurements on it, which is handy if you are, doing certain parts of each thing. You want to measure it out. It has ounce markings on it. I am not going to do that. I'm just going to eyeball it and do whatever I think looks good. So let's see. This stuff is TGI Fridays, and I had never had it before. Somebody recommended it to me. It was wonderful. And if you like creamsicles, it really is. It definitely, to me, tastes a lot like a creamsicle. You remember those? The popsicle, orange popsicle inside with vanilla ice cream, that thing. Alright, so this looks like a good amount to me in terms of, I'm thinking sugar content for half a carafe. And then I just want to add some extra vodka because it definitely isn't strong enough. Seems good. Now most people would measure all of this out. Not gonna do that. Why do that? When I could just wing it. Alright, so there is a top that goes on this blender. I don't even know what you call this. Blender container. There's probably another name for this and I can't think of it. But anyway, there's a lid that goes on it. It has a big hole in the middle. And that's because that's just the way this machine is set up to run. And then there's these metal little clips to lock it on. So once you get that, your ingredients inside of there, you just sit it down on the blender. It's pretty simple. And then you spin this part around. This little silver, I don't even know what you call it. It's a ring, a silver ring. Spin it around on top of there. And as you can see, my light is green, which means I have it set up properly. Everything's locked in place. Now this button I want to turn to half a chamber. They call it a chamber. Half a chamber because, I'm only doing half a picture. And then this is, I don't even know what we call this. This isn't anything that's on here. Okay, I'm going to call it a colada. This is smooth, like a pina colada. When I think daiquiri, I think of something that actually has fruit, real fruit in it. And you can, when you make it from scratch, you can use real fruit and put it in the canister. It'll mix that all up for you. But right now we're using mixes. So I got it set to coladas, half a carafe, and then you just push the start button. Now this thing is really, really loud. I mean, it's louder than your standard blender probably. It's probably as loud as my Vitamix when I turn it up to full speed. So it's really loud. So I will probably mute the sound of this and put music over it so you don't have to listen to the blender. Okay? Here we go. Done. All right, I think it's done. Now the cool thing about this is that it has a little dispenser. So all you need to do is take whatever glass you're using. Alright, I got my creamsicle. And who doesn't like a garnish? I like a garnish on a drink. So let's see. Got some whipped cream. Ready whip. So we just want to do a little garnish on top. Okay, get a maraschino cherry and stick it on there too. That would be cute. Have to complete the look. But I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to dig them out. Alright, so here's our orange, what's this called? Orange dream? Yeah, ultimate orange dream. Ooh, that's so much. I think it needs more ice. So I would shave more ice into this if I were just, making this at home for me. Shave more ice into it and then blend the ice in because it's not as frozen as I would like it. I really want this to be more like a slushy type of consistency. This is more, I don't know what you call it. It's definitely a little bit thicker than it would normally be, but it's not frozen. With the ice, along with the alcohol, really cutting out the sweetness of it. It's actually tolerable. That's pretty good. That's a lot better than the first time I had it. Alright. So that's that one. That's the orange cream. Now, I am going to rinse the canister out and I'm going to come back and do a strawberry daiquiri. Alright. Alright, I'm back and I've cleaned out my canister and this time I'm going to make a strawberry daiquiri. Now, I think what I'm going to do this time, because that orange cream wasn't slushy enough for me, so I think I'm going to set this at a full chamber. That way it'll probably shave more ice into the canister is what I'm thinking. So it'll be a little bit more frozen. And then we're doing daiquiris. I don't even know that I want to set it at daiquiris because the daiquiri setting may assume that there's fruit in there that may blend it longer, which will then make it less frozen. The longer it's stirred. So I think I will just leave it at, I'll put it at Margaritas. That seems like a safe bet. Okay. So I'm doing the same thing I did before in terms of using a mix and adding alcohol and just kind of winging it. This stuff is really sweet. It's like a syrup. So what is this? Master of Mixes. I've never used this before. I think it probably was on sale at the local grocery store, so that's why I got it. But it's really, really sweet, so you don't need a lot of it. And then I got some just Margaritaville. That was what I had open. Well, there's only a little left. No point in saving a little drop in the corner of the bottle. Alright, so then you just lock this lid on with the little clips on the side. I'm getting the hang of this machine now. It seemed complicated the first couple of times I used it, but now it seems pretty simple. Turn this around, and I get it set to a full canister. Alright, and then just push the power button. And again, I'll put music over this and so you don't have to listen to this loud blender. Okay. Oh, now this looks slushy. I'm excited. So I got another glass and straw, and I just put a strawberry on the side of this before garnish. Obviously you can do whatever you want in terms of garnishes, or you don't even need one at all. But I just cut the strawberry. Alright, this one is definitely more frozen than the last. So, let's see. There we are, strawberry daiquiri. Wow, it's still pretty sweet, even though I did not use a lot of that mix and I put a lot of alcohol, but it's still like sweet. So, I probably will shave more ice into this and mix it some more to dilute it a little bit more. But it's still tasty. So that's that. You know, the only difference between the daiquiri and the margarita is the alcohol. So if you're using rum, it's called a daiquiri. If you're using tequila, then it's a margarita. So take your pick. You can even make smoothies in this, but I don't know why anybody would pull this gigantic thing out just to make a smoothie. You'd be better off with your countertop blender, unless you have a countertop that's large enough where you can leave this thing sitting out all day. It's big, it's bulky, it's heavy. It's fun though. I enjoy it. And then on the back, there's this little reservoir for water as this ice melts. So if you leave it sitting out and it has ice in there, you don't have to really worry. It'll fill that little cup up. And you should be good to go. And then, what else? Every time you press this lever, it mixes it again. Because, you know, if it's sitting there, it starts to separate, that kind of thing. So it'll mix it again before it dispenses it into your cup. And that's pretty much it. You know. So this is the Margaritaville frozen concoction maker. I got mine on QVC. It probably was about $300, somewhere around there. I'm thinking $250. I can't really remember, but it's about a similar price to the Bartesian that I reviewed a while ago. I like the Bartesian a lot better, obviously, because the Bartesian does a multitude of cocktails. But with the Bartesian, you know, as I said in that other video, you are stuck using their pods. You have to order their pods either from them or Amazon or whatever. This, obviously, you can use whatever mixers you want. You can make it from scratch, do what you like. So this one is fun for summertime. I really don't drink a lot of really sweet drinks. I don't drink a lot of frozen cocktails. I usually stick to more classic cocktails. But this is a fun thing for the summer because it's hot in the summer. It's kind of nice to have something slushy if you're having to get together or whatever. So that is the end of this video, and this is probably one of the shortest videos on my channel. So I know some people are probably happy about that. I will be back next Wednesday with a garden video. And I'm not sure what that's going to be about. I really would like to do another tour. I don't think I have shown the front yard since I first started planting up there. So I kind of like to, you know, show you the progress of the fruit trees. They're actually growing leaves. They're leaking out. So that's nice to see that they have taken to their new home and haven't died off. And also my grapes and berries seem to be growing leaves. So that's all a very good sign. So I may do another garden tour, even in the big field that I did on the last video. Things have really changed there since the last video. I mean, just overnight stuff just can kind of double in size. It's amazing once it gets hot. So I've harvested peas already. Now that we're moving into summer, yeah, peas are almost done. So I didn't think I was gonna get many, as I said in the last gardening video, because they just didn't do anything while it was cold. And then it went here from cold to really hot. There was no like spring in between. It was just, you know, felt like winter, and then it was like summer. So I was afraid that they would not have time to give me anything, but I got a lot of peas, and actually I've frozen them, packed them away, food saver them, so that I can, you know, have them throughout the fall or whatever. But I was happy about that. So they'll probably give me some more. There's probably a second round to be picked off of them before they're completely done, and then I'll pull them out. And I have already planted green beans and sunflowers alongside of the two sides of the peas, because I have a bunch of bush peas, so they don't get very tall. So the bean plants and the sunflower plants are, you know, they're pretty good size right now, those seedlings, like. And so when I pull the peas out, they'll have that room to spread out. So I'm you know, doing this, kind of staggering it that way, because I'm trying to maximize the little space that I have. I don't have any more land that I'm going to till up to plant certain things, and so it was time for the green bean seeds to go in. So that is what I did. But we can talk about all that in later videos. So I hope you all have a wonderful week. And if you decide you want to invest in this machine, you know, it's fun to have around. It's not, like I say, you can use a blender and do the same thing, but it's just a fun machine, especially if you're having get-togethers or parties. It's definitely a talking point. All right, you all take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.